I have a problem, remember to turn on the mic, is that I'm going to reopen the Board of County Commissioners meeting October 25th, 2023 from the recess. Oh, I guess we need a roll call.
Commissioner Thayer?
Here.
Commissioner Richardson? Commissioner Schroeder?
Here.
All right, go ahead. I would like a motion to open this application.
Okay. Before I make a motion, I'd just like for full disclosure to let everybody know I am roughly acquainted with the applicant and have some history with this property, but it's been nearly 10 years, and I could believe I can make an impartial judgment here. If the applicant is satisfied with that, we will move forward. Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to open a public hearing on System Properties Rezone RZ 233557.
Second. Please vote.
Aye.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hello and good afternoon. My name is Danny Klebanner. I'm a land use planner for community and economic development for Elbert County. Today we will be talking about Systems Properties, a rezone, and the case is RZ-23-3557. So just a brief overview of the project here. The request is for a rezoning. The applicant is requesting to rezone approximately 15.5 acres of an agricultural parcel to commercial and about 17.5 acres to agriculture residential. The location of this project is 35570 County Road 13 in Elizabeth, Colorado, 80107. The applicant is Earl Raymond, and the applicant representative is Kyle Fenner. I'd like to also note that the minor plat and site development plan are administrative decisions and are not part of this hearing. So just a brief overview on the process for this application. It began a long time ago, about 6 years ago, a little over, and there was a submission with Baseline Engineering, which was a consulting firm in Elbert County. After a long time, based on water adjudication, septic, and several other issues, a new application was submitted. The most recent pre-application meeting for this application was held in February. There was a community meeting in March of that same year, 2022. This newest iteration of application was submitted in August, and this application has undergone several referral periods. We had a hearing with Planning Commission on October 3rd, just over 3 weeks ago, and here we are today for the Board of County Commissioners meeting October 25th. Just to note, all noticing for the public hearings complied with Elbert County zoning regulations and subdivision regulations, our 14-day advance notice requirements, with submissions to ranch land use, quarter-mile radius mailing, and on-site sign posting. So just a brief overview of the location of the project. It is located just north of Elizabeth at this yellow star. This is an overview of the whole county. Here you can see us at the blue dot in Kiowa. Another closer aerial view, you can see the north end of Elizabeth here. This is County Road 13. Several other similar businesses along County Road 13. This location is between 142 and 146. I would like to note on this aerial view that the flag-shaped property in the middle is not a part of this rezoning. That parcel is zoned residential agriculture 1. The existing zoning for the whole parcel is agriculture, and there is a commercial business operating. That business is named Systems Contractors. This business is in the steel building construction industry. Here's a closer look at the property. As you can see, Running Creek is a main drainage here that's parallel nearly to County Road 13. It intersects with County Road 13 further up. The site description can be characterized as rolling pasture lands with a creek bed and an existing 60 by 144 foot structure. This steel building is directly adjacent to an existing residence. Floodplain, yes, there is floodplain west of County Road 13. Floodplain extends across an eastern portion of the parcel. In terms of wetlands, there are some wetlands here, riverine, intermittent stream bed, and this area is likely seasonally wet. Here's one last aerial map and an overview of the existing development on the property. And as you can see, the entire developed portion of the parcel is on the northern end of the parcel. A quick look at the surrounding zoning here. To the north, you have Creekside Community Church, parcel that's about 27 acres with 3 buildings. To the south, about a 41.6 acre horse ranch and residential with 6 buildings. To the east, you have about a 50 acre parcel with 1 residence and about 14 accessory buildings. And then to the west, you have PUD, and that is agricultural with residents and several outbuildings, a couple of 39 acre parcels there to the west over here. One last zoning map. As you can see, this entire area that's being rezoned is in the economic development overlay zone. The tail end of this portion here is intended to be agriculture residential. This applicant acknowledged and/or resolved all comments raised during our referral process for the rezoning. It went to the Division of Water Resources. They needed to submit an application for re-permitting, and that would be processed if the minor plat is approved. They have no objections. All re-permitting steps have been taken. Corps had no objections. All necessary utility easements are in place, and Corps approves the rezoning. Elbert County Assessor's Office had no objections. Public Health had no objections. This comment about completing an application for a septic permit was done, and they have current septic information for the existing business. Elbert County Public Works had no objections. Fire Protection District was consulted, and they have no objections. And the Kiowa Conservation District had no objections. Elbert County Engineer made the comment that as site development plans take place for commercial lots, they will need to submit an erosion control plan at the time of development and that permitting process. So in Elbert County, Article 3C4 lists review criteria for all rezone requests. The Planning Commission and Board of County Commissioners are to consider these criteria in their review of the application. The 6 criteria are as follows. Whether the proposed rezoning conforms and is generally consistent with the goals and policies of the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. So we have a couple of comprehensive plan goals that are addressed in this plan. One is residential development for the agriculture residential parcel to the south, and that is to preserve open space and a rural character in Elbert County. And clustered residential development patterns are encouraged within 1 mile of paved roads and existing utility corridors, which this is, and within the 3 mile service and or influence of county towns. For commercial development, we have a couple policies. Commercial development should be within economic development overlay zone. This is within the economic development overlay zone. Commercial development should be encouraged where arterial road access, water and sewer service are suitable and suitable topography exists. and commercial development should be part of an overall development plan for the county. B, whether the proposed rezoning is compatible with surrounding land uses. This is, in fact, near other commercial development and gathering places, such as Creekside Community Church. Hitch and Post Hay is a business nearby. Ewing Outdoor Supply, Creekside Animal Hospital are examples of a few businesses nearby. It's approximately a mile north of Elizabeth. I would like to note proximity to the residents has caused conflict, and this proposed rezoning is also compatible with the economic development overlay, which covers the entirety of the proposed commercial area. C, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the provision of public services. Elbert County Public Works reviewed this proposed rezoning, and access for the 3 new lots from County Road 13 should not adversely impact the provision of public services. The 2 commercial lots south will share access, and the volume of traffic on County Road 13 makes this shared entrance necessary. In terms of the ag parcel to the south, that will have its own private driveway. D, whether the proposed rezoning would adversely impact the environment. This proposed rezoning should not adversely impact the environment. The applicant submitted a drainage and erosion study and will not be building in the floodplain. The applicant is aware of the floodplain, and development will be consistent with floodplain regulations. Individual site plans will have to also mitigate adverse impacts, and that will be submitted at the time of site plan for commercial development. E, whether the proposed rezoning would create unreasonable traffic congestion or burden the existing road system without improvement. The addition of the proposed lots is not believed to create unreasonable traffic burdens, and the applicant did submit 2 traffic letters, or 1 letter and 1 study throughout the process. F, whether the proposed rezoning will not otherwise be detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the inhabitants of Elbert County. Staff believes that this rezoning request from agriculture to commercial and agricultural residential will not be detrimental to the county residents' health, safety, or welfare. Planning, Elbert County Planning recommends to the Board of County Commissioners to approve the requested Systems Properties rezone RZ-23-3557 subject to the following conditions. We also found that the proposal is in general conformance with the Elbert County Comprehensive Plan. It met criteria for approval based on zoning regulations. The proposal is compatible with existing and allowable land uses, and the proposal will not result in a significant impact to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the surrounding area. So our conditions are that the applicant will be required to remove the public hearing sign within 7 days of a decision by the Board of County Commissioners. The rezoning shall not become effective until all fees are paid, conditions of approval are met, and the exhibits are recorded. And recordation of all appropriate documentation is to occur within 180 days of the Board of County Commissioners' approval. And this condition is also contingent on the applicant paying cash in lieu of open space for the new residential lot that will be created. A couple of additional conditions that were notes that were satisfied before the Planning Commission meeting actually were that the applicant provide a record of current on-site wastewater treatment. We have current records, and the applicant submit to the Division of Water Resources a well permit application for a re-permit of the existing well, and this condition has been satisfied as well. So that will conclude my presentation for the rezone for Systems Properties. Thank you for your time, and here is the rezone exhibit. Thank you.
Does the applicant wish to make further comment?
I do not
All right, is there any public comment? Please, sir. State your name and address, please.
My name's Gary Dickinson. I live at 35568 County Road 13, Elizabeth, Colorado. I do own the property that is going to be surrounded by this change to a commercial, if it happens. I guess I would start by talking about previous meetings and things that they've held, and they talk about trying to make the best of a bad situation because of the way things were divided. And I don't see why forcing the property, which is considered Lot 1, to be commercial and ignoring a whole bunch of rules that have been put in place to protect residential people like myself. Some of them include me having to drive through a commercial parking lot to get to my property. The devaluing of my property, if this goes through, because I have to now drive through to try to sell this, I think it's going to cause harm to my property value. I also had a statement where Earl and his other people wrote that the applicant was concerned that the 17-acre would be described as agricultural state property with prime location, scenic creek bottom, and prime pasture, and it would have its value negatively affected should access be forced to pass and across commercial and light industrial properties. Well, that's exactly what they're trying to do to me. I also noticed in the plans, which are very hard to read because they're put on something that's huge, where they talk about that they're not going to do anything to Lot 1, that they're just leaving it the way it is, which I don't understand how I don't get protection for light, sound. There's no berms, barriers, anything like that that is going to be used. So I don't quite understand how they got away with not including any of those things in this plan. I'll read what it actually says on one of these things you can't read. Visual and sound barrier landscaping would be established along the other allowable means of screening to help screen the commercial area from existing or future residents. Driveways will be wide enough, and landscaping or adequate berms for visual mitigation and noise abatement if needed. Conditions at the time of plat on Lot 1 are acceptable and do not need to be altered. I don't know who decided that they're adequate, because from what I see, meaning no light mitigation. I have it coming in my yard every night. They didn't put a fence up. They didn't do anything about anything to mitigate sound. Yet, according to this, it's adequate. So where in the plan, what am I missing that I'm going to get some protection? My kids have been woken up at 6 a.m. with the loud beep, beep that the trucks, commercial trucks make. That was at 6 a.m. on the first day of school, not this last year, but the year before. So I don't quite understand how any rule is being followed for any of this stuff to help protect me. And I believe that's the commission's job, is to protect residents like myself from development that causes harm. And I believe it does cause harm. My daughter now has to drive through a commercial parking lot, and a lot of times there's trucks. I included some pictures in the packet. There's 8 pages that I wrote. I hope you'll take a look at those or have read those, because I believe those are other concerns I have about this project going forward. I'm not talking about the development in general. I'm talking about Lot 1. Lot 1 is where my issues are. That is directly going to affect my property value, my life, the noise I have to listen to. And once this decision's made, there's no stopping it. I can't call if they make noise. I can't say they're not following things. It's just going to be a free-for-all over there like it's been today. They've known about light, haven't taken care of it for 7 years. They've known about the noise, don't care if it's 6 whatever time in the morning. So I don't expect this to get better. I expect it to actually get worse if this gets approved. Thank you.
Would the applicant like to address the issues that were just presented?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Kyle Fenner. I live at 7190 Nautique Circle. That's in Larkspur, Colorado, 80118. I've been working with the applicant for, gosh, now 3 years, I think. So it's been through a lot of iterations. One of the things that I want to say is that I will go back to the argument that these are both less than ideal properties. They are less than ideal shapes. The metal structure that's being used right now by systems contractors existed prior to Mr. Dickinson's purchase of the property. The property line was created by foreclosure, and it's run smack dab in the middle of a house and the metal building. That was the bank's doing. The bank could have captured both buildings. They did not, and here we are with 2 parcels. The property does have a 6-foot fence, privacy fence. Once this is rezoned, the county actually has more control over it because it is now bound by the zoning that it sits on. Right now, it's sort of a non-compliant mishmash use, and we're trying to bring it into compliance. So I believe that the county will be in a stronger position. So for screening, if they have screening issues, light tests were done, and we found that there was no more than 1-foot candle at any property boundary that escaped the property. That's a standard. I don't know that that's an adopted standard, but that's a kind of a standard for light escape. The property does not have a great deal of coming and going. Most of the people come into the office, they stay there all day, and they depart. It is not a place where customers come and go. So I don't understand a little bit of the traffic concerns. The 2 properties shared a driveway from day one. Now, I don't understand why it's an issue now that we're trying to bring this into compliance. Additionally, the applicant maintains that driveway. He has graded it, he has put road base down, he plows it. So Mr. Dickinson is the beneficiary of an improved driveway and a plowed and cleared driveway. So those are just some of the comments that I have. If you've got any additional questions, I'm available.
If I remember right, the house and the metal building are relatively close together.
They're incredibly close together. Each structure is roughly 15 feet from their shared property boundary. So neither, when each purchase happened, both Mr. Dickinson's and systems contractors happened, neither structure was in compliance for setbacks. Neither structure, both of them needed variances or rezonings. What happened was, I know you're near and dear to your heart, the XX zoning, which what we used to call XX. And the county went through, and you guys did a mass rezone of all of those, just to bring them into compliance. Mr. Dickinson was a beneficiary of that rezone. Systems Properties and Earl Raymond did not have to do that because their property remained above 35 acres. That said, he was still dealing with the setback issue when Mr. Dickinson got rezoning without having to deal with his setback issue. He wasn't required to get a variance for his setback issue. So it's kind of just, it's less than ideal, and we're trying to make it as good as we can.
The access, this doesn't change the access to either place.
It does not.
Okay. Okay, we may call you back. Who knows?
Okay, I'll be here.
Just one time. You got to do it in the microphone.
So first of all, I'm about 35 feet from my property line, and they're 12 feet. When I bought the property, there was no commercial business in there, so I bought the property with the expectation that it was an agricultural building and the traffic would be near zero. Now that there are two businesses in that building, they keep telling you it's one, it's two, even 20 to 30 cars a day is a substantially more than I've had in the past. They also bring semis, trucks, delivery trucks, and they stop in the middle of there and unload. So, you know, the amount of traffic, it's not like this was something I've always dealt with. This is new. And there's nothing to say that this needs to go from agricultural to commercial. If it's a bad situation, we shouldn't be making it worse, right? And that's what this is going to do. This is going to forever change what goes on at my property and what goes on there. And they tell you that it's only a little bit of traffic. That doesn't mean that's the businesses that are going to stay there in the future. And it doesn't mean somebody has to come back. They sell that building, it could turn into a much busier place for the people that maybe own my place. And I don't think that's fair for me or them.
Thank you. I remember when Kyle was running our planning department, and that I think that we went and checked on this place back then. And it's been there may have been no commercial there when you bought the place. I don't know about the timing, but it's been commercial for almost as long as I've lived in the county. And when I say that, I don't mean zone necessarily correctly. That's how it was used. I remember when it was a place for animals to go to, and I remember when it was our electrical place there also. So it has been, that building has been on and off for years, used as commercial.
It had a special use by review that the second
So,
and that was 2-3 years, I think, prior to me.
so what we've got to decide is, how do we live in the land of reality? Your house is there, that business is there, and how do we make this compliant with our ongoing current regulations? Dallas, do you have any comments? Do you have a recommended action?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve System Properties Rezone RZ 233557
With the conditions of approval?
with the conditions listed, yes.
Okay. I second that motion. Please vote.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's the only application on our agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we close the public hearing on System Properties Rezone RZ 233557.
Second. So now, should we close the meeting?
We'll vote on that.
Oh, please vote aye.
Aye. And, Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn for the day.
Thank you. I second that motion, and we are adjourned. One question I